Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts One Piece Shanks and Monkey D. Luffy childhood. It's not an action figure, it's an accessory. Don't you put it on the box, Bandai. That's cheating. People are going to think it's an action figure, and it's not. I don't like that. But this is Shanks. I think it's one that people were looking forward to. I've heard that people aren't happy with it. But people loved Ace because it's Ace, even though it had all kinds of problems, and people didn't like Sabo because it's Sabo, even though it was mostly a good figure. So I don't know what you guys are doing with One Piece out here, you collectors out here. What the heck? But this one I've heard, it's somewhere in the middle. So we'll see. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I'll tell you what I think. Alright, let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. I like the packaging. I think it's pretty cool that they have this little scene on the front. I like it. I don't know if people who are inbox collectors are going to like it, because I think you might want to see more of your guy rather than just a black coat, but I don't know. I don't know because I don't collect it on the card. I never look at the packaging, really. Figures off-center again, mostly hidden, at least halfway hidden, a lot of accessories showing. Take that for what you will, but the packaging for One Piece is cool with the map, even though I don't think it's the One Piece map, but it is cut out nicely to look like Luffy's hat. And yeah, it's a good package. I think it's one of the better packagings that they have for standard releases. Side looks nice. Back looks nice enough. Could use some more photos or some bigger photos, but it's good enough. Solid packaging. Okay, let's see what we have here. Now, this guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. If you want to get one, I'll put a link in the description below. He stands almost exactly 17 centimeters to the top of his red hair, which is what he's known for. That's why they call him Red Hair Shanks. See, I know stuff. I actually do know a lot about One Piece, but I haven't watched it in forever. Okay, he is about 6 5/8. I need to get back into it. There's just so many episodes. He stands, compared to Darwin, a little bit taller. He's a taller figure. That's pretty cool. Let's do a question of the day. Who's your favorite One Piece character out of all of them? Every single one, even some of the admirals or anybody you want to pick. Now, I don't know all the admirals' names anymore because it's been so long. I like some of them, but I still have to go with, you guys know it. Who am I going to say? You can enter it before I say it. I know, you know. It's Zoro. I like Zoro the most. But Ace is pretty cool. Let me know. Do you guys think his face looks off? I think it's too soft looking. Now, maybe this is like how he looks later on in the show. I'm not sure. Does it say? No, it's just... This is for flashback, right? Yeah, because he's got his arm, so it could be flashback. And it's got young Luffy. I don't remember him looking like this back then. But maybe they draw it later like that. I don't know. You guys can let me know about the face. But okay, let's talk about the way it looks. Generally speaking, I like the aesthetic on this guy. It is a nice matte finish, so that's very appealing. The colors seem to be pretty good. It's well balanced. It's not like red is oversaturated and the rest is muted. It's pretty good balance. The paint job for the little buttons on his pants, very nice. Same thing for his sandals. Very nicely painted. Not a lot of shading or anything, but it's not plasticky, so that is okay. I think they over-engineered the crap out of it again, but you can't see it too much from the front in a neutral pose, so we're not going to worry about that for the aesthetic. We will talk about it later. Golly. Yeah, these pieces right here are a slightly different color, but you're not going to notice that too much. The paint job on the face is clean. Very nicely done. I do think the face looks a little bit off, but hey, maybe I'm remembering wrong and you guys can correct me. But yeah, it looks good. And then the other thing we need to talk about, which I'm not going to count as an accessory, though you could, I'm going to talk about his cape, because it is a cloth cape that pegs on. So it's not an overly heavy plastic cape, as we've had some issues with. It's a fairly lightweight cloth cape. It is bendable. That's nice. It pegs on nice enough. Is it well enough executed for me to be sold completely on this? No, but the concept is great. I like where they're going with this. I think the material's too thick. It gets extra bunchy up around the head. Doesn't flex quite as much as you want it to get it right into the place you want it to be, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad at all. It looks nice enough. It's got a nice cloth look to it, rather than like if it was, I don't know, like a silky metallic color or something like that, like McFarlane does. This is a fine looking material. It's just a bit thick, but otherwise it's pretty nicely done. So I really like where they're going with that, and it looks good enough that I'm not faulting them for it. But I think, you know, a little bit of iteration and they'll be hitting that sweet spot. It does have just a little bit of stretch to it, but almost none. So I still think not neoprene, goodness gracious, spandex is the way to go. But this is fine. It's perfectly fine. So I like where they're going with this. Plastic looks better, but it doesn't pose, obviously, and it's heavy, and in some cases doesn't even look better, so I like their direction here. So I'll give him an aesthetic rating of 8 out of 10. It's pretty solid. Now, as far as accessories go, Let's start with the faces. You get a total of 5 different faces. They all look really well done. If you're okay with this particular look for him, again, I remember him having a taller face and not being so soft looking. Either way, you get those. They're all very nice. You get an extra Luffy head. Again, we're at 765 now. I'll bet you that's the same number I said last time. You get that. You get an alternate hair piece for him, which is to allow him to wear the hat, which is included in the package. Sort of. I'll explain in a second. So you get his hat. That's nice. Then for hands, you get a decent spread of hands. Nothing crazy, except for the fact that you do get one alternate arm with no hand. I won't spoil it, but he has no hand on one arm if you want that. So that's a cool option. You get a spoon, and then you get his sword, both sheathed and unsheathed. That's pretty nice. And then you get a Luffy, a young Luffy, which is not an action figure. It is just a little statue. It's really nicely done. It's really, really well done. And that's where the hat comes from, because the hat is Shanks' hat, but he gives it to Luffy. So you can put it on Luffy and use it like that, in which case Shank wouldn't be wearing it, and you're good. Or you can take it off Luffy and give it to Shanks and get rid of Luffy because he does not have an alternate head, and he looks like this. So, put the hat on Luffy, I would say, or don't have Luffy in your collection. That Luffy. So, good spread of accessories, though. I like it. And if you wanted to count the cape, even more. So, I will go, maybe 9. I don't know what else you really need for him. It's pretty good spread. You could say 8 or 9. It's a good spread, okay? All right, let's talk about the articulation. Let's see what they did in here. All right, this is going to be the deal breaker. Oh no, everything always pops off and goes flying when I'm doing reviews. It's a ball peg. Double ball peg to be specific. Let me grab that head. Oh, or that faceplate. They always land right where I can't reach them. Okay, so double ball peg. Very, very happy about that. His hair split is nicely done also, and you can just move him all over the place because you have a ball peg for the neck, double ball peg for the head. That's the way to do it. Now, the shoulders are much like the other Zoro figure, the newer Zoro figure, where they are just ridiculously complex with a hinged ball peg on the inside, another joint here, and it's like, don't do that, Bandai. It's a skinny figure. You don't need to do all this crazy stuff to get the arms to work. It's fine when it's not posed. If you want to raise the arm, though, like what? There's like four different options for where you can raise the arm. None of them work particularly well, except for this one, where this happens. Like, why? Stop overcomplicating things. It's just a shoulder. Put it on a butterfly, a rotating butterfly, and put a ball hinge on it. Not this. This is a ball socket with a ball hinge with another ball, with a straight socket, and then a hinge on the inside that raises it up and down. It's too much. It's way too much. Don't like that at all. And then in order to do the way they did the torso, it looks like he's wearing a crop top, or I don't know what that kind of shirt is for a girl, where it goes around the back and not the top. Like, don't do that either, because now our joint in here, there is a joint in there, but it doesn't do jack diddly. No diddly being done here, so that sucks. And then the ball pegs, it feels like, I can't tell if it's a single or a double or whatever's going on, but it's minimal range at the waist too. It's mostly just a twist. So his torso, way overcomplicated. Way overcomplicated for the torso itself and for the shoulders. That is super annoying. Now, you do get a bicep swivel at the top. Do you get a swivel down here? You do, so that's nice. Really limited range in the elbow, just better than 90 degrees. No good reason for that either. Ball hinges on the wrists are fine. You do get rotation in the forearm. I don't think anybody's ever needed that. Maybe that's just the result of having to have it swappable, but that's going to be annoying because it's going to be constantly out of alignment. You're going to have to figure out where the forearm's supposed to be. I think it's that right there. No, it's this. I don't know, because the sculpt isn't that sharp. They had it like, I don't know. That's annoying, super annoying. Torso and shoulders, ridiculous. Elbows, not very good. Forearms, annoying. For the splits, basically full-on splits, no nuggets at all. They're really starting to refine these joints. That's very nice. It kind of looks like nuggets from the bottom because of these two things, but they're not really there, so that's good. Good range there. Bring the leg up. You can do it almost to horizontal without using the other leg, but since it goes back to very, very nice range there. Thigh swivel is, of course, a thigh swivel. You get a little bit of a ball peg, so that's all right. A very limited knee for no good reason. It's like, did they just figure, well, people aren't going to pose Shanks that much? Almost 90 degrees for the knee. And like a new design Is it a double? It's a single. Just why is it so bad? That's not good. Alright, and then this ankle is on a ball peg, or the shin is on a ball peg. That'll be helpful, I guess, for some adjustments. Then the ankles work pretty well. It looks like it would be a ball peg in there, but it's not. This hinge doesn't move. So it's not the best range, but it's going to be good enough. And then the ankle rocker will be good enough. And then you have a toe hinge, which is good enough. See, this is one of those other things. I've been complaining about toe hinges for a long time. And now these companies are starting to make them this way. And I don't know if I should take credit for it, but I might. For complaining until they change it, is what I mean. Not for inventing toe hinges. But that's a nice toe hinge. Okay, so, final verdict for his articulation, which means I shouldn't say final verdict. I should just say the verdict for his articulation. 7. It's meh. The torso's pretty crap. Actually, I should go 6. It's going to be a 6. It's pretty crap. Torso's bad, knees are bad, ankles are okay, arms are mostly bad. Yeah, there's too much bad going on with this guy, unfortunately, and for no real reason, because he's pretty skinny and easy to articulate. That's really annoying. It's a good thing he looks alright. Alright, time for the final verdict. It's a good enough pickup if you wanted Shanks. If you don't want Shanks, then don't bother. It's not an impressive release at all. It is just fine. I'm going to give it an overall rating of, because the articulation ended up being bad, I'm only going to do a 7. I was going to give this guy a higher rating, but it's just not good enough. That articulation is not good enough. No reason for it at all. Why are they screwing up the One Piece line so much? I don't know. Okay, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.